I'll go with that as well.
Hello. Hello.
Okay, perfect. Yes, go ahead.
Okay, I want to go with what Larry has just said. If we're going into entrepreneurship, and we will need energy finally. But I think also maybe the next step will be for us to start developing the sub teams, the content for each of the committee. At that point, we will know whether we need extra committee work groups or not from developing the content of each of the committees. Thank you.
Can I raise something small here?
Yeah.
I had I have some settings, wrong settings. Well, I had some wrong settings on my computer. Then I tried to bring them up. Then I found that some members on the other line, they're trying to come in, and then they failed to come in. So, like, I also had a few issues, but then I managed to come in. So I don't know how basically we're going to accommodate those ones who are not online as well.
The ones who are not online,
Yes, but again, they had wanted to join.
the room cannot fit, unfortunately, more than 10 people.
Okay.
If anyone would like to leave and keep their place to another person, they can do that and just send them the link. Otherwise, they can just follow online and send us their comments on the Facebook or Twitter.
And I think it will also be on YouTube. Sorry to take you there. Can we please continue?
Yeah, it's fine. It's totally legitimate. Okay, so I would like to move a bit forward. So we agree on the gender community. That's number one. We agree on employment and entrepreneurship, and we agree to have energy, power, and all that under it. We also agree on having. So now for peace, security, and human rights, would you like to merge them together themselves? Because I think peace and security in Africa is a big issue, and a lot of things can be discussed under it. And human rights by itself, it's another thing, and a lot of things can be discussed under it. So, what do you think?
Well, once again, my name is Joel. I'm calling from Uganda, and well, I would like to have those two quite separate. Peace and security. I mean, peace and security will be on its own, and then human rights will be on its own. But again, we may look into at some extent, they may have to be merged. But being that they have a lot of activities embedded into them, so I think we can have the two of them separate.
Okay, let's look into transparency, accountability, governance, and democratization. Could those be merged?
Come again?
Let's look at transparency and accountability, governance, and democratization. Do you think those could be merged?
Hello?
Yes.
Accountability.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, for me, this is Finland. I'm back. Sorry for being out of the connection for sometimes, but I'm back.
Hello.
Finland, go ahead.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. In the first place, I think transparency and accountability essentially look like almost the same word. Okay. In a larger sense. So I think we can merge governance and transparency. Let's look at the way of having 9 and 10 together, and that will be fine. In my opinion.
Hello.
So, what do you suggest it will be called? All of them in one committee. What's the name?
Hello.
Transparency.
Sorry,
Hello.
can I make a
I'm
suggestion?
thinking. Okay. Let someone else make a contribution. I'll think about that.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, I'm William from Nigeria. On 9 and 10, I think we should merge it, and as Larry said, I think we can just call it good governance and transparency.
Exactly, that's the word I was thinking about. Exactly.
Please, the others, mute your phones. Turn off your phone, your microphones. Okay, so good governance and transparency. That's what you're saying.
Good governance and accountability or transparency? Which one?
Exactly the same.
Excuse me, can I come in?
Yes.
Well, I'm thinking these three elements can be merged to be one because they more like work in the same bracket: governance, accountability, and transparency. I think it should be remain as one. That's my take on that.
Yes, that's what we're discussing, to merge them, but we were thinking of a name to this committee that can include everything under it, okay? So somebody suggested good governance and transparency or accountability. I didn't get it well.
I think I can go for good governance and transparency. Because in transparency, that's where we can have accountability and how we can police, have a team to police for those ones who like are using the financial resources differently.
Okay, great. Everybody agree?
Yeah.
Okay, just 1 minute, just to wrap up, because we took a lot of time in this. So now we have gender equality, employment and entrepreneurship, human rights, peace and security, good governance, and transparency. We agree on those. Now we still have education, technology, health, environment and sustainable development, art and culture. Yes, go ahead.
Hello?
We have 10 right now. Yes, go ahead.
I think the other ones can actually stay. Art and culture can stay alone. Health can stay, and I think others can stay apart from the ones that have been merged together.
I agree.
Okay. I agree as well, because we have 10, which is a reasonable number of committees. Does everyone has any contribution on this before we move to talk about coordinators?
Sorry, I have an input.
Go ahead.
Okay, I've not heard you mention agri.
Yes. Thank you.
Agri was there.
Agriculture was an addition, but do you want to?
Yeah, it was an addition. Yeah.
Yeah, agri. Then we've not. I don't know what we've agreed on hunger and poverty. Then also talked about oil and gas.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Please turn off your microphone.
Since morning.
Please mute your mic.
I don't know who's talking. Okay. So, hunger and poverty, can that goes under employment and entrepreneurship?
No.
Oh, perfect, higher, perfect. I think it can. Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Let's
I was thinking in that direction too.
And we make it as a livelihood, something like livelihood. We're not talking as a poverty reduction programs. We need to use as a livelihood programs so that we can add into that part trainings and life skill development, something like that. Sorry.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
I'm just thinking. I don't know. Maybe we can, instead of merging hunger and poverty with employment, we can match it with education. Thank you.
What do you guys think?
Can you come again?
I'm saying that instead of
Hello.
matching, sorry, can I go on?
Yes, comment.
Okay, I'm saying that instead of matching hunger and poverty with employment and entrepreneurship, we can match it with education with number 6 initially. Thank you. That's just a suggestion.
Hello.
Yes,
Can I go
Larry.
on? Okay. I think employment and entrepreneurship will do better with agriculture, or sorry, with poverty, and because I don't really agree education and poverty, because I think the essence of raising a committee for employment and entrepreneurship is to attack and reduce poverty and hunger in the long run. So I think we can look into that area, but education and poverty, really, I really don't vote for that.
So education, so employment and entrepreneurship, and hunger and poverty goes around it. Goes under it. Sorry.
Can you please come again?
Or
You're breaking. I don't know if it is me.
education.
Sorry, I can't get what it said, please.
Hunger and poverty under one of the committees, either employment and entrepreneurship or education. Which one would fit better?
I think hunger and education will fit better.
Let's see. Education.
I think looking at what we have initially in the MDGs, we had access to universal education there and eradication of extreme poverty. And I think that education plays an important role in eradicating poverty, though we know at the larger stage, because now we are looking at how are people becoming poor if they're not educated from the beginning. They don't have any idea of what to do, how to start up. That's where they stay until they get old. Sorry, they get old. They might lose focus. But employment mainly and entrepreneurship plays an important role in poverty eradication equally. But that has to do mainly at the higher stage, let me say at the tertiary stage. But when people are educated, they have the basis, they have the foundation, they have an opportunity to skip or to run out of poverty, to skip being poor. That's
Okay.
a suggestion.
Okay.
Thank you.
But that does not create room for those that are already illiterate. So I'm thinking if we can merge it with employment and entrepreneurship. Because whether you are educated or you are not educated, you can have some internship training, that can make you earn a livelihood. So matching those two, I'm more comfortable with that than matching it with education. That's my own suggestion.
So you're saying you want to merge entrepreneurship and
Hunger and
employment,
poverty. Yes.
but they are already merged. We have a committee called entrepreneurship and employment. Now we're trying to put hunger and poverty under one of the committees.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you.
Employment.
Putting putting hunger and poverty under employment and entrepreneurship. I think it best fits there.
Okay, so since um, hunger and poverty is still an issue of discussion, we will put it in the big group and see what they think about it, okay? And we will not decide on it right now.
Hello, Air.
And also agriculture. We will decide later if it should stand by itself, if it should to the coordinators.
Yeah. Can I come in?
And please mute your microphones for the others. Please. Okay, go ahead.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. I've been sitting following the discussion. Someone already asked you for the general committee. What would be the role of the general committee? And we said something that the general committee will closely be working with health. Why can't we merge health and general committee? Why can't we merge health and general to make them one committee? And then education and technology can remain as it is, and other suggestions have been coming for. That's my own take, because I've been sitting and following it.
Okay, so I would just make a comment and close on the committees because we're moving to the coordinators right now. But if we still have issues to discuss, we can do another session on that. For the gender, I want to say that it should stand by itself because for health, we can discuss Ebola, for example, without discussing gender issues on Ebola. It's just a health issue for everybody, and it's not focused on gender. But gender issues have other focuses. For example, it can include HIV/AIDS and things like that, but not necessarily only on health issues. It can include employment, political participation, other things. So I would suggest that gender should be by itself because it has already a lot of issues under it. Health should stand by itself because it includes broader issues than just being gender. But we will discuss because I think the committees are important to discuss with the big group and see what they think about it. Now we will, if you have more suggestions, just write them down, and when I send the new document, you can still put those suggestions, okay? Now we have to move to the coordinators. So anybody wants to come in to talk about the coordinators?
Okay, let's go ahead.
I would start with somebody's asking question. Should the coordinators meet physically or virtually? I would say the regional coordinators will meet virtually, and the national coordinators will meet physically because we will have at least 2 coordinators per country. And that's for gender balance, so we'll have young men and young women as coordinators. Other than that, you can go ahead with your suggestions. Can everybody hear me?
Yes?
Yes.
Okay,
Well,
go
I'm
ahead.
asking.
Yes, what are you asking?
Actually, this is my first time because I never attended the first meeting on Hangout. Well, I don't know whether in the first meeting the coordinators were elected or they weren't elected.
Just like me.
The first
Okay,
meeting?
because of course, because being that I'm the only one from East Africa, and on this regard, I'm the
Yeah.
only one from Uganda, then that means actually I'm not seeing anyone else from East Africa or Uganda as well.
Hey, in East Africa, you are not alone because I'm from Tanzania.
Oh, I didn't know there was someone
You are
from
not
Tanzania. Sorry
alone.
about that.
Yes, and I am from Somalia.
Oh, then those are three of us, but there is no woman. I mean, there is no lady here. There is no gender balance.
Can I say something? I would like to say something.
Okay.
I'm not selecting any coordinators yet. So the ones who are in the Google Hangouts, who are you guys that I've never met and I don't know in real life. So I didn't select anybody, but those who are interested and who are committed to join the Google Hangouts are the ones who join. So first come, first reserved. The other meeting was open to everybody, and that's why when somebody enters the room, the others cannot come in and cannot watch on air. So I changed this time, and I selected only 9 people, and then the others can watch online. So for now, we don't really have coordinators. You are not representative of countries or coordinators. You are representing your own views based on your expertise.
Yes, yes.
So it's not based on any country or any nationality. Now, what we want to include in the structure is having coordinators. How to select them, we will discuss it right after that. So if we agree that we have regional coordinators in 5 regions of Africa and country coordinators, 2 men and a woman, then we can move on to discuss how to select those. Am I clear?
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect.
So if you have any suggestion for the coordinators before we move, go ahead.
Can I add little in the national coordinators? I can't imagine how we can make 2 coordinators in one country or one nation. It's good to have the gender, but it may be some problem to deal with 2 people or 2 person.
Mm-hmm. Um,
Please go ahead.
I suggested to have 2 coordinators, not only because of gender balance, which is really important, but also to have, it's like assistant to each other. So if someone will not be able to join the online meeting, the other one can catch them. If someone is working on the ground, the other one can coordinate with the regional coordinator. So it's kind of supporting each other instead of having all the responsibilities on one person. That's the purpose of having 2 coordinators.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well understood.
Yeah. Can I come in?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. And let's again from Liberia. I want to know what are the coordinators you are coordinator per country or region will have a physical offices on ground, or you'll just be meeting like online or so. I don't really know how it really going to work. But we'll have a physical office on ground, like in my own country, Liberia. Yeah. I have established let's say the coordinator now there will a physical office in there. That's one question.
Hello.
Sorry.
Sorry, can I come in?
Can I, okay, go ahead.
Sorry, I was having a problem with internet. The question was how we can have 2 national coordinators in particular one nation.
Okay, anybody else have a question before I answer?
Okay, I want to say something. Sorry,
Go
can
ahead,
I go on?
go on.
Okay, I'm Wime from Nigeria. I want to say that if we have 2 coordinators per country, it's not bad. And the former speaker asked about how the coordinators are going to run. I think we've been in on networks. Um, you can decide to have an office. Maybe you can put the network in your organization office. But we are starting up, and in mobilization, you're going to do maybe online mobilization first to have people in your country who are interested to join. Then over time, you can arrange for a physical meeting. So I think it's okay if we have gender balance um, with coordinators. to a country that I'm female, it's okay by me. Thank you.
Okay. Let me first answer a few questions. Because Abdullahi went off and didn't hear when I talked about why we have two coordinators. So I said it's first for gender balance, and second, to share responsibility. Because if the coordinator is not available at a certain time, the other coordinator can make up or they can divide their responsibilities into on the ground and online tasks. Somebody on the Google Plus asked, "What's?" I would like to say that we didn't specify roles for coordinators yet, but maybe the coordinators will be helping the human resources department to map activities in their countries, to map events and NGOs. And also these coordinators can organize campaigns, events, not necessarily to have a physical office. Especially now, let's not focus a lot on things that need funding. Let's have more focus on the impact of what we're doing. So let's use the resources we have to do it for now. And then little by little, we can have more resources and then we plan for bigger events. But the coordinators in general, they will be focal points for their activities, their own activities, but also activities in their countries. So for example, if your country is witnessing something big like what happened in Nigeria a few months ago, then everybody in the African Youth Movement should have an action towards that. It's like a support system to your, you are our focal point and we support you whenever we can and however we can. Later we can break down it once we have the structure. I hope that's clear.
Yeah.
Okay. Does anyone else have any questions?
No. For me,
I
I
was
don't
just
have any question.
I was just lost because I lost my connection and I missed some part of what was happening. So I don't know if I'm to drag you people back a bit or we continue.
I think you'll pick up along the line as we go on.
Okay.
Okay. So let's move on to the. So now we have departments, we have committees, and we have coordinators. So how are we going to select them? What's the process? By nomination, by elections? What do you think?
Yeah. What I'm thinking, the process of getting those coordinators, it depends because we are in the beginning stage. So we have to think at this beginning, maybe we nominate some of them. Then on the way we look on, or we'll arrange the way how we can get the system. We can build the system of getting coordinator. But at the beginning, I suggest that we nominate, and because we don't know who is really in, and we believe that those who are in this hangout or in some other around, maybe those who are watching us have the opportunity. But for the beginning, maybe I can suggest that so that we can move on. We can just move on fast.
Well, on my part, what I can suggest at the moment is that those ones who are on Hangout right now, they can represent the countries they are in, and if there is no one else in that country, well, along the way, we can pick up one or actually another person who will represent with that person to be as their assistant. So I'm thinking right now, like for instance, I from Uganda, well, being that I'm the only one, then along the way, probably someone who comes on next can be an assistant. And just like, for instance, those one, the one in Somalia, Nigeria, Tanzania, then, well, that's my suggestion.
I I agree with Joel because this shows the commitment of those people who are already here and who are unable to join it, but they are still with us. Now, those that are here on the hangout have no ideas on what we're trying to discuss. I believe they can take the lead, you know, to take us to the higher height than relying on other people who are not part of it yet. I agree with what Joel says.
Please, can I come in? Hello?
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Joe, please don't put your hands on your head again.
Oh God, sorry. Well, sometimes when I'm making
Just one
Okay,
point,
let me say what
that's
I
why.
wanted to say. That was by the way. Okay,
Okay.
I want to suggest that, for example, in some regions we have more than 3 persons. Like I heard Joe and the other speaker said they're from East Africa, if I'm not mistaken. So when we
Yes.
have people like that from each region, they can within themselves choose who wants to be the regional coordinator for that region. And Joel and the last speaker also talked about commitment. People that are here from each of the region, it shows commitment. So I think automatically people that are here in this hangout, whether today, Joel is smiling, whether today or the next hangout, can automatically be either regional or country coordinators. But again, we have only one female here, which is Aya, and we would need to work hard to make sure there is gender balance. Thank
Yes,
you.
I would like to come in at this point because Esther is is writing on the Google Hangout, and she's saying, "I suggest the next meeting we have ladies in the room because if we are talking about gender issue, we can do that without 90% of everything being men." I totally agree, but when I posted the meeting, I had only Maria who was able to join, and then she couldn't because of her internet connection. So I would like to call on ladies to take the initiative and come in. We have to work hard on gender balance, but I need you also, ladies, to take the initiative and come in to be part of such meetings. That's one. Second, I um, I agree on the nomination thing that some of you suggested, and for saying that the ones who are here, yes, definitely they are the ones committed to join, but there are many people who cannot join either because of internet connection or because it doesn't match their time and they're relying to see the recording. And there are people who are not in the room, but they are now writing on the Facebook group and the Google Hangout. So there are many people who are interested, and we cannot just say the ones who are lucky enough to be here now because of good internet, good timing, to be the coordinators. I would prefer to have everybody in their positions because of their competence and because of their commitment. That's why I suggest, and we can discuss this, to have it by nomination um, and to have like a screening selection based on everybody's interest and uh, potential or expertise in that area. So if you are, I don't know, the head of funding department, you should have definitely an expertise in that. And we cannot just pick up someone just because they attended the meeting. Do you see what I mean?
Yes. Point driven home.
Sorry?
Your point is driven home.
Okay. So I would suggest that now we focus on selecting the key positions, which is the heads of departments and the chair of committees and the 5 regional coordinators. Then those ones will do the selections of the member of each team. So let's focus now on how to select those, which are 5 head departments, 10 head chair of committees, and 5 regional coordinators, which is around 20 people.
Yeah. Can I come in?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. I can remember a couple of weeks ago, we have a database where everybody, specialization where, they specialize in what they do for live stuff. And you kindly look at that database and see who fit for so and so committee or department for you to work in before making like a nomination. Because if you just sit and say this, and there are a lot of people out there who want to join this hangout, but there's no way for them because money there's not real active internet connection area. Like my friend Kochioko in Ghana, he said he wanted to join, but he's far off from where he is to get the internet on a strong internet to contribute. So can you look at the database and see where somebody fits before making that nomination to the various positions, please? That's my question. That's my point.
Hello, can I come in?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Relating to what the last speaker said
Hello.
on the issue of the database, that's a good idea. But again, some people may have joined the database, but you never see them on any discussion. They're just, you've seen them. They have interest to join. They are in the database, but you never see them do any contribution. So I'm thinking maybe not taking anybody from here. Let's look at people's commitment. Again, we also consider expertise. Again, I want to also suggest that we could have a screening committee where especially people that are going to head each department would have to send in their interest. I'm telling you, not everybody that maybe are in this room would like to go for a position. Some people like to just work, not to be on leading any position. So people should just express their interest. Then the screening committee could at that point select who is competent. How do we measure the competency? Look at their commitment, or maybe issues, how they discuss issues, how they contribute. Have you ever seen them in maybe Facebook or email or maybe hangout, those issues, and you could have a team. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I would like just to bring an idea from Al-Haji, who is watching us. And he said, I suggest we select the country coordinators first before we select regional coordinators, because country coordinators should look into this coordinator and deputy country coordinator. I didn't get much of the point, but I think he's suggesting to select country coordinator first and then regional coordinator. I think it should be the other way around, because once we have the regional coordinator, then he or she will have more time to select, to screen the countries and to select into their countries. And also it will save us time to have at least those key positions. In regard to what you were saying about selection, I totally agree. It should be based on the expertise and interest, and also the people who join Hangouts, the people who are committed on Facebook and all that. And that's why I suggested that we do it by nomination. So by nomination, I mean you do not nominate yourself, but you lobby for other people to nominate you. And then we have an application form for the nomination. And then once we see who are these people, if they're part of the Google Hangout or the Facebook group, or have joined the discussion online without even being in the, but like why they're interested in what they offer in this position. and then do the selection based on that. So you have the expertise and you have what they will do, what they will bring to that position if they take it, and how much commitment they have for it. Now I also agree, because I can't do it by myself. I think that committee is another issue. Who should be selecting? So what do you guys think?
Sorry,
Does
what was the
anybody
last
have?
sentence?
I'm
Your
saying
last sentence.
if we have a committee selecting people in those key positions, then how we select that committee? Do you want me? Do you trust me to select that committee and just launch the application and start the process, or do you have any other ideas? And also, if you have any expertise on like regional organization, how they started and how they did their selection of key position. Was it just by appointment or nomination, or how was that? I'm also addressing my word to people who are watching us. If they have suggestions, please. I'm reading your comments, so please comment. Go ahead.
Okay. I deeply agree that you can appoint the committee that would help you in the selection processes.
Yeah.
But more importantly, I want to state clearly that we should be very
Hello.
conversant with people's track records. If you're going to manage any committee or be a coordinator, we must be able to see
Hello.
evidence. We must be able to see the things you've done in that area in the last 5 years, in the last 10 years, in the last 2 years thereabout, and the kind of results that you've been able to achieve with your involvement. I strongly believe that people should work as a result of their previous success and also their commitment so far. So I agree with you that you can appoint those who help you out to the committee, but in the long run, let us be mindful of people's previous
Hello.
achievement in the
Yeah.
areas where they're working. Thank you.
Thank you, Larry. Who is talking?
Yeah. This
Please,
is David for like.
please mute your microphones when you don't talk, please. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. I think looking into this head of these committees, with my little experience with working with other regional networks, at the initial stage, people are trusted with heading those departments as long as they have the expertise in that particular area. Until when they have what they call the General Assembly, until when the General Assembly comes into face-to-face meeting where people lobby, elect or nominate people who will be heading regions or departments. So as of now, I think we should see who can we trust with a particular department. If you know that fine, you want to take up a department, you know that you have the expertise in that department. We can trust you with that department and see for a time frame until when we think we can have a general assembly to have a face-to-face meeting and see how we put things in order. But if we want to exhaust all those expertise here, say that okay, we have to go through this step, through that step, we'll find it very difficult in giving people responsibility. Yeah, that is my own idea.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. You getting me?
Uh-huh.
Hello. Yeah. I'm Levis again from Liberia. I think the idea of appointing coordinators and department heads for now is just a starting.
Oh, we lost him. Unfortunately, we lost him. Okay.
Wow.
So, can you please mute your microphones?
Joel is a very
Yeah.
busy man.
He is
Aya,
back.
can I come in?
Oh, yes, you are back. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay, go.
for me, about the departments, I think because we are from different specializations, so we should focus on who know what first. For instance, I'm a graduate from international relations, so I can fit maybe on conflicts and peace and security, maybe, and how to get those departments, head of departments. Yeah, I think first of all, you have to cross-check. Maybe we suggest we can send our profile, kind of profile, to you so that you can suggest who come first and who maybe come as the department supportee. So I suggest we should create a kind of profile, our profile, then we send to you, and you will give us or you will direct us who should stand as the head of department and who should be as a supportee for the department. I think we should go that way.
Thank you, Fernand. Anybody else?
Can I come in?
Yes.
Well, you talked about the database, and apparently my name is off the database. And then, because now if I can blow my own trumpet with my 9 years experience in communication, so I don't know how basically I can add my details on the database. Well, I tried last time to include that, but I failed.
Okay, the database. So when I started inviting people to the group, I send out emails to people I've met or I know from different networks or friends of friends, and mostly people I've never met. It's virtually. And then when I started the group, I did like an Excel sheet with everybody putting their names, and I created a Google group. But then we moved on to do the first meeting and then the logo and then things like that. So this database, what I am planning to do is to give it to the Human Resources Department later and to see who is there and who is not and to map further the people in the group. So it's not like an exclusive database or anything, but it's just for me to see the expertise of different people and to see what are the countries represented and how many people we need from other countries. This work will be pursued by the Human Resources Department, but everything I post by email to this database, I post on the Facebook group. So if you are on the Facebook group, you receive exactly the same information. Okay?
Right.
Okay.
I have a suggestion.
Yes.
We discussing three things at the same place. That's why we are still at the same area. We are not moving. Because we're looking at the regional coordinators, we're looking at the country coordinators, we're looking at the department heads. We cannot even figure out what we are ready to do right now. So let's concentrate on one. We exhaust that one, go into another one, exhaust that one, and go into the third one. If not, we'll spend the whole time discussing on these three issues and we will not know where to start.
Yeah, thank you for the comment. But actually, many people ask the same question. So this is really on questions like Joel that some people really ask a lot on the Facebook group. So it's an opportunity. That's why I answered. Now I would like to the physical meeting. Let me see. Yes, which is the physical meeting I'm suggesting, and maybe this gives you an idea of how to move with this election. So I'm suggesting that we have physical meeting or a conference or a summit or a general assembly, whatever you want to call it, and to be in Tunisia. And I suggest the date for that to be because the date of the first Google Hangout we did. So it's going to be like exactly 1 year from our work. And for that, we will have a steering committee or some committee to arrange how the meeting will be and who's going to be in and who's invited. But my point is that whoever is appointed now, it doesn't mean that they will stay forever in that position.
Okay, I have a suggestion.
Just for one words and impact. Just 1 second. And they will work 1 year towards having an impact that will be you can do only election if you have members. Now for the selection, yes, go ahead. Go ahead. You want to talk?
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I just want to put it that if we're going to go by nomination, maybe people to vote, I don't know how long that's going to take. But as I think it was either Joel or the other guy from East Africa that said, people know their expertise, and apart from expertise, it's about interest and commitment. People who wants to work, we're all here to learn. So even if we have people now, people selected, the positions, as you said initially, will not be forever. We can give people, we can have a 1 year term for each of the coordinators, like maybe regional coordinators, 1 year term for each of them. In that 1 year, it's possible to measure, to assess people's impact on the ability to forge ahead or move the network forward in their respective regions.
Can you hear me?
Thank you.
Can you hear me? Do you hear me?
I'm hearing you now.
Okay,
Yeah.
now you're hearing me because you didn't hear me when I spoke earlier. That's exactly what I was saying. I was saying that we will have a physical meeting in July 15th, and the ones who are taking position now, they would take it for only 1 year, and then there will be elections. That's exactly what I was saying.
Yeah.
But maybe you were not able to hear me. Okay, so to move on, which this is the last point we're discussing, and wow, we took 2 hours. I would be glad to do appointments of key positions in this group based on expertise, commitment, and the ones.
It's breaking here.
You have a problem with your internet settings, Aya.
Sorry, Joe, can you hear Aya?
No, I can't hear at all.
I can't hear her.
Also.
She has a problem with her internet settings, I
Is
guess.
it just hang on for her? Or can we start lobbying?
He has not loved it.
Please vote for me for West Africa.
I hope one of you guys is going to start lobbying.
And here, guys,
Are you want to lobby?
we have.
Well, I can start the lobbying if you guys give me the go ahead.
We don't lobby you. We are on A.
Sure.
Yeah.
But is there any person from North Africa?
Aya is from North Africa, Tunisia.
She's the only one from North Africa, and she's the only lady, I guess.
She's the only lady.
Yeah, and then come on, don't bring that.
Is there anyone from South Africa, Southern Africa?
Okay.
I'm from West Africa.
And it seems we're only 2 from East Africa, me and the other guy from Tanzania.
I'm from West Africa. I think we are 2.
Okay, and we were trained, Lanre, myself, and you, West Africa.
Okay.
I'm the only one from Central Africa.
Oh,
South Africa.
Yeah, from Chad.
Okay,
Okay, no
Chad.
problem.
I'm from Liberia.
Oh, two from Nigeria and one Nigeria, Liberia.
Yeah. So
Okay.
which are you
Liberia.
West?
Sorry, who is from Liberia?
Yeah,
And
I'm from Liberia.
But
What is
what's
happening? Lobbying?
but
Liberia
it
is owing
seems
us.
Aya has signed out. I don't know why. I think her network has gone down.
Sorry,
Probably I don't
sorry,
know whether she'll come back
sorry.
because I don't see her online.
So maybe we are on AOB now. I just want to say that Liberia is owing us because of soya.
Okay.
Oh no. You don't talk about soya here. Soya they movie and different and different person.
Excuse me,
Yeah.
from Liberia. What is the situation now on Ebola?
Oh,
Ah,
yeah.
they we are trying to fight it. Government is doing the world to calm the situation. But then it
Okay.
has some people when they are infected, they to spread it and then try to quarantine them. They want to resist to government order. But I think things getting normal. Like yesterday, I was listening to the assistant minister of security, because I work with the Ministry of Health as an IT administrator. I was listening to him one doctor. The treatment center in Monrovia. 12 person were tested positive. They were tested negative. After being tested positive and then treated for 1 day, there are a lot of good news coming out from it.
Okay.
Hello, please. I want to ask the guy from Liberia something. Can
Yeah,
I go on? Hello, can I go on?
yeah, come again.
Okay. I read in the news that the company that Soya worked with actually found that he was already having complications, so they had to suspend him from work for some months.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
don't know how it came about that the Liberian government has to send him to an international engagement, whether they were not aware of the
You
status.
know,
I just want to confirm that from you.
I've been following them on the media. You getting me? Hello,
No,
are you there?
so there's so much noise coming from your own.
Hangout. It is
So someone should just put off
African
the mic.
movie, so
I think it's Joel.
Yeah, there's so much noise coming from his end.
Joel, off your mic.
Yeah.
Good.
You were saying something. I want to respond to it. You getting me from
Okay.
Nigeria?
Baba, I'm waiting for you.
Okay. For the soil issue, I've been following more than on media and even on television. It was not a government that really sent him there. He followed it on the media. He was a consultant for the government on a West African wash project at the Ministry of Finance, and then a consultant for the mining company. When he came in contact with sister, with the sister with Mary Ebola, the company notified the employees that he soil was likely to be positive, even if he will come. When they just had to overcome when you are showing some symptoms according to medical professional. So they say he should be one place, he should quarantine himself. But when one day he shows some symptoms in the text and then he'll bring a result, whether he positive or not. If he posted that on the one day, after 18 days, he said the regional body needed him to do his presentation in